Hello friends, I'm Samriddhi Banerjee and welcome to my channel The Mad Reader. Today I am going to narrate an excerpt taken from the novel Three Men on the Bummel written by Jerome Jerome. I am reading this excerpt from the book called New Mulberry English Coursebook 7. Before starting, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Also, share my videos to friends and relatives. And finally, kindly write out your valuable opinions in the comment section as it helps me to get motivated and improve my videos. So, let's start. Uncle Podger leaves for work. We all get delayed for various reasons. Sometimes the reasons are valid and sometimes we are at fault for causing the delay. In this story, which is an extract from Three Men on the Bummel, we witness a morning in the life of Uncle Podger who invariably gets delayed every day and blames everyone but himself for missing the train. From my Uncle Podger's house to the railway station was an 8 minutes walk. What my uncle always said was, allow yourself a quarter of an hour and take it easily. What he always did was to start 5 minutes before the time and run. I do not know why, but this was the custom of the suburb. Many stout city gentlemen lived at Ealing in those days. I believe some live there still and caught early trains to town. They all started late. They all carried a black bag and a newspaper in one hand and an umbrella in the other, and for the last quarter of a mile to the station, wet or fine, they all ran. Folks with nothing else to do would gather on the common of a fine morning to watch them pass and cheer the most deserving. It was not a showy spectacle. They did not run well, they did not even run fast, but they were earnest and they did their best. The exhibition appealed less to one's sense of art than to one's sense of natural admiration for conscientious effort. It was not that my uncle did not rise early enough. It was that troubles came to him at the last moment. The first thing he would do after breakfast would be to lose his newspaper. We always knew when Uncle Podger had lost anything by the expression of astonished indignation with which, on such occasions, he would regard the world in general. It never occurred to my Uncle Podger to say to himself, I am a careless man. I lose everything. I never know where I have put anything. I am quite incapable of finding it again for myself. In this respect, I must be a perfect nuisance to everybody about me. I must set to work and change myself. On the contrary, by some peculiar course of reasoning, he had convinced himself that whenever he lost a thing, it was everybody else's fault in the house but his own. I had it in my hand here not a minute ago, he would exclaim. From his tone, you would have thought that he was living surrounded by conjurers who spirited away things from him merely to irritate him. Could you have left it in the garden? My aunt would suggest. What should I want to leave it in the garden for? I don't want the paper in the garden. I want the paper in the train with me. Here somebody would explain, what is this? And hand him a paper from somewhere neatly folded. I do wish people would leave my things alone, he would growl, snatching at it savagely. He would open his bag to put it in, and then glancing at it, he would pause, speechless with a sense of injury. What's the matter? My aunt would ask. The day before yesterday's, he would answer, too hurt to even shout, throwing the paper down upon the table. If only sometimes it had been yesterday's, it would have been a change, but it was always the day before yesterday's. We would find it for him eventually, as often as not, he was sitting on it. And then he would smile, not genially, but the weariness that comes to a man who feels that fate has cast his lot among a band of hopeless fools. All the time, right in front of your noses. He would not finish the sentence. He prided himself on his self control. This settled, He would start for the hall, where it was the custom of my Aunt Maria to have the children gathered, ready to say goodbye to him. One of them, of course, was sure to be missing. The moment this was noticed, all the other six, without an instant's hesitation, would scatter with a whoop to find it. Immediately after they were gone, it would turn up by itself from somewhere quite near, always with the most reasonable explanation for its absence. Thus, 5 minutes at least would pass in everybody looking for everybody else, which was enough time to allow my uncle to find his umbrella and lose his hat. Then, at last, as the group reassembled in the hall, the drawing room clock would commence to strike 9. It possessed the cold, penetrating chime that always had the effect of confusing my uncle. In his excitement, he would kiss some of the children twice over, pass by the others, forget whom he had kissed and whom he hadn't, and have to begin all over again. He used to say he believed that they mixed up themselves on purpose. If things were going too smoothly, the eldest boy would come out with a tale about all the clocks in the house being 5 minutes slow. This would send my uncle rushing impetuously down the gate, where he would recollect that he had with him neither his bag nor his umbrella. All the children would charge after him, two of them struggling for the umbrella, the others surging round the bag. And when they returned, they would discover on the hall table the most important thing that he had forgotten and wondered what he would say when he came home. Well, friends, that's the end of this story. Hope you liked it. Thank you.